Hey, and welcome to this new live stream where I'm going to explore Chrome extensions again. So this is like part two of the streams. I will go again and check and explain what I did. So on the last live stream, I built a mini Chrome extension that enables you to add specific predefined emojis to the text that you are having by using that extension in your browser. And to build that extension, I relied on the Chrome extension tutorials. And in that tutorials, they had something related to focus mode, which we explored this page and we get the code from here and modified it based on our needs. So that's basically what we did. And to go and test what we have, let me go and show that extension should be Hmm. I closed it, I think. Let me see. So this is one. It's emoji extension, and I don't see it here. We refresh the page. Yeah, here it is. Why it wasn't showing? Okay. So here we have that as it's an off right now, so we don't have anything. But if you go here and you click on Control B, you could see that you have this menu where you could choose whatever you want and it will be added to the text. After that, if you click on Control B, this menu will close. So this is what we get till now. But what I would like to work on today is adding an API so that I could get the emoji and search for them. I can't do that um, if I don't have an API to search for emojis. And the other thing I would like to work in is improving the UI for that. So to start with, um, I think we have something which is like Tweet emoji, but I'm not sure if they have an API, which is the Twitter emoji. And this, let me see, just give me. Mm, yeah, so we are back. So in Tweet emoji is just like an emoji CDN for people where you could use that, but I don't think this could enable what I want. Usually when I want to add an emoji to any text that I'm using, I will just like search for Emojipedia. Let me see if that they have Emojipedia API. So if they have a search API, it would be awesome. Emojipedia.org. So they have an API here. And description. So here they are telling us, okay, so it's a case by case with no guarantee of access. New applicant are now closed and will not update this page. Okay, so they have an API, but it's not public, so that wouldn't um, help me. So let's check if we have an emoji API. And right now I'm just going. So I think we have these two that I visited before. And we have emoji api.dev. We could do a simple like one with us or like host something related to us so we could have our own API. But as you can see, this is like um so this is just a public API that we could use as well. Get an array of all emojis, random emoji. Here they are getting groups. but they don't have a search um, for that. It's cool. The idea of having this API as mm, see the data. Okay, so they have the emojis here. So having this API as an open source option, that would be awesome, but we'll not check that right now, even though I love open source. Sorry, I closed my screen by mistake, and here we are back. So let's proceed with this entire screen, share this, and here we have the screen. Okay, so instead of going there, I would just like go back and check what else we have. We have an npm one, and this one does, yeah. So they don't have the search again, but so we get back to the top. We have this and the emoji engine. I think this one I have checked it before, but yeah. So this one is an open API that allows you to show the APIs, and they have whatever we want. I did a small research before. The only issue with that API is that right now, if I open it from normal account, it will show me the key, but we'll have just like use that in a few minutes. So for the emoji API.dev here, they are having, yeah, so they don't have a search for that. And it's under Apache, which is cool, but like they don't have a search, which is something that I don't feel that I need right now. And for the API Ninja, let's see, and define data for fetching new emojis. Awesome. So we have the emojis, happy face. Let's see. Okay, so we need, I think, they don't enable us. Let's see, happy. Would that face smile? So they show some stuff, but the search is kind of weird. Cat with RE smile, face, grinding face with big eyes. Okay, so they have some awesome stuff here. And to use this, we could use this one or the other. Um, we need the API key, and we could have. Let's see. Oh, okay. So they have. Do they have a free plan? I don't have that right now. Okay. So I will just like move forward to that open emoji API since they have another plan that we could use. So here we could use that list all emojis and we could have our key here, but I will not um, expose my key right now. I'm not sure what would they do with that or how to refresh it, but yeah. And here we could have a single emoji, categories, and do they have a search? Yeah, and here they have a search for emoji. So to test this, what we could do is go to Postman. So Postman is like a tool that allows you to use to test APIs and to run them with a great user interface. So you could have the work you are doing, testing it before going to. Let's allow this before going to your. Let's create a new one to your work. So my thing is an HTTP untitled request. Let me create a new folder, collection, and call this collection as, where is the rename? So let me go and what if I went to those APIs? So here we have the API, and to test automation API. Okay, I don't do that. I will go to again to here. We'll rename this. Where is the rename? Rename emoji API. So let me just see that API. Here we have it. So what I would like to do right now is, let me close the other stuff. Don't save. I would like to add where is it? Here, an HTTP request, which is like it's saying list all emojis, which is list access key, whatever it is. Here we have that. For the access key, we could add it as, let's say, add request here. Save changes to emoji API. Here we have that request right now. And to get that access key, I think we could set a variable. Let's say new variable, and let's call it access key. Let's have it for collection API only. And then what we could do is change that variable. Let's see where we could change that. I think it should be somewhere here. Let's say we don't need to have, yeah, we have an API key. So we could add that key to header, or yeah, we need to add that as query parameters, and the key should be called at access key, and the value should be, I need to get it from somewhere. Yeah, just give me a second. I'm going to close my screen. We'll get that key. And where is it? Add that key there. Then go back. So I don't need this one. Have that here. So right now I have that key, I think. Yeah, so please provide a valid access key. And to provide that key, we need to have access key. Let me just hide it a bit. Go back here, we have access key. We could add it to header. And I'm just right now trying to see how we could add that access key. So we should have that somewhere. Pre-request setting. Yeah, we have the auth here, inherit from parent, but it's not added. So let's go and see API key. And let me add that to query param. Just give me a second. I need to get the key again. Have that value here. Have the params here. What if we didn't hear from auth? Okay, we could remove this one. So right now I'm just trying to find a way to add that access key without kind of fully exposing it, but I think I could just go and do that. Yeah. So yeah, we have that access key right now, which is ready to use. So here we have that access key, and if we go and call emojis, you could see that we have the full stuff here. And to test other stuff from that API, we could see we have the search, and here we could just get that search and say, let's say happy, and see what we have in that happy stuff. So no result found for happy. Let's say smile. We have this cat smile, and let's say face, and we have that stuff here for face. Or let's say sad. Sad but relieved. Okay. So here what we have. So right now what I would like to do is to use this stuff and have a mini um mini like user interface inside that extension to use it for the search right now, and then we will do other stuff for this. So what I could do is go to background here, or let's go, instead of going to background, let's just try that immediately on the screen here. So if you go and you see that we have those emojis, I could just like open this console, and then I would go to those emojis, get that one, which it should be this. And then what I would like to do is to have edit that as an HTML, have an input at the beginning, and I think we could have a label for that input so we could search. So what I would like to do is to have something inside that input and search it here. I think it would be much easier to, let me go and grab this, get that code from here as an HTML, which is the approach that we took yesterday, and go here, open that new page, let's say um, UI.html to just see what we are having. We add the HTML stuff, and then I have that here, so I could like just play around that. I don't have configuration, so I want to do that right now. So then what I could do is open that with live server, and here we see that what we are having. The only thing missing is the style, which should be import style. We just get that style here, which right now should be similar to what we are seeing in that page. So I would like to have an input. I would like to have um, a label for that input, where I would like to not say unlisted items. So for that, we could have an ID, and we could have call it as search. Let's say emoji search, and then go back here, change that, have it as search for an emoji. Well, let's say just search, so it's simple. Here we have the search. Then we could have a button to Chrome extension search button. Yeah, emoji. Let's say just emoji search button. So that is what we are having right now. So what I would like to see is here we have this. So I could add that stuff right now to the extension, and you would see them inside the code that it should be here. We refresh that, so we get the new stuff. And when you refresh, I think I need to reload that emoji again so we could see this. Before going to this, I just need to change that for making sure we have the latest version. And right now I would just have what I just typed there. So I could search for something and I have that. So basically what I'm doing right now, just going to have the basic, let's say UI and the stuff that I want to have. And then I would just go and add the other um, important stuff. So for those who just joined, what I'm doing right now is trying to create a small Chrome extension which will enable us to have an emoji and add them to whatever text area that we have, which would be similar to the GitHub. Um, let's say show that here, similar to the GitHub emoji style, but in more of an extension stuff. And so here in GitHub, if you click on two dot, you could just search for emojis. But right now, what I'm doing is just having this simple basic stuff that we could do and search for emojis and have them listed here. And then I would like to enable that text analyzing and checking that stuff. So let's get back to what we are doing here. And it would be great, by the way, if you tell me where you are watching from. And yeah, that would be awesome. So going back to the background, what's missing right now for me is I don't need the class, by the way. Is when I click this search button, I would like to get the input from this one, replace the LIs here, and then have the latest four emojis from what we are getting. So to go back to Postman, let me see here. So Postman is giving that result as an array. So that is a great stuff for me. So I would just parse that array and get the character from that. And let me see if I need anything else. Yeah, so that's it. And what I could do is to have the search in another area and wrap that with a div because I would like to, let me go here. I would like to just have getting this UL by getting that, uh, or I could get that li dot this, but yeah, so both of them that would be work. So what I was thinking that I could get the UL, then remove the children, then get that stuff from it. But like another approach that I could do is getting the li and getting the ID of that stuff or the class name from the stuff that we are having here, then removing them. But I think going through UL, removing children would be much easier or much like a better way for that. So, okay, what I was should do right now is add functionality for the search button and then getting that in the background here. So to go and do that, I will, yeah, I will go back to the HTML page here, go to that button here, and let's write the function that we want from this in that area. So we have the ID emoji search as an input. So we could get the query document query selector this, and we could get the value. Let's say let search query equal this, and here we could add that as a script somewhere. I don't want that as an external script, but that would be much, I think, easier. So here we could have the search input, which is the same, by the way, as what Copilot suggested. And then I'm getting that button, and then it's getting the emoji list. Yeah, so this is the list that we are having here, but I would get the UL instead of that. Let me just remove it here. Then let's see what Copilot is doing. So I don't need that. So it added a query, an event for that, event listener for that, which is like clicking on what we are having and the search button. It is emoji search value. And when you click, yeah, okay, so I don't need that on top. When you click on that, and I don't think I need the emoji list on top. And let me see. When you click on that, it will get the value. It will get the button. Why? I don't know. And then we'll get the list. Then emoji list items document query selector all. And it's showing and displaying them. I don't need that. So let's see unlisted items. And here, what I could do is remove the children of emoji list. So here they are having the suggestion. Fetch the emojis from the API, which is what I would like to get. And here we call it as, I think it's exported someone else key. I'm not sure which people key, but yeah. So after getting that fetch, we could get that response. So we are returning that response as a JSON, and then we are getting that JSON and looping through that data, creating an element, adding the inner HTML as character, which is what I would like to get. But instead of having all of them, I would like to get that first five if we have that. If we don't have, we could get the first one, but like, yeah. So then what we could do is just that. So let's go back to this page, try to have smile. It didn't work because, let me see, cannot set the property of null. Emoji list is null. Okay, I think mm, so I didn't write the Chrome. Here we have that, clicked on it, and let's say smile. We have nothing here. So I think, yeah, what we get an error. Access to from origin has been blocked by course. Okay, so it's a course issue. Um, how to pass that course while using fetch? Enable course fetch API, which is duplicated. Let's go here. We could, so we should add something. Hmm. When a site A to fetch content from site B send access control low bad response. And yeah, so I could do something else to check that, which is going to this page here, going to fetch, selecting this and asking chat Copilot. So Copilot chat is a chat GPT like feature for code, which is integrated with Visual Studio Code, and you can ask it questions. So this code gives a course error, how to get over that error. So here, as you could see that it's showing the reference, which is the code that I got from line 30 to line 32. And here it's telling us how to bypass that. So let's see the result. So the browser restrict that. To overcome this, you can use a coarse proxy server that adds coarse headers to the proxy. The fetch URL will change that proxy server UI followed by the actual one. So we could have a proxy URL and then we could use target URL, which will lead us to have so we need to have that coarse stuff. Another approach to do that. So this is the workaround that's suggested, but I would like to try something else, which we could set a server-side proxy. We could do that through, okay, that makes sense. And we could do that through, yeah, so I will do that at the end then. And to like, so this is similar to what open source Chrome extension is doing, but like when they have a server working in the background and they are getting data from that server. But what I could do here is instead of waiting for that server, um, here we could have a server. So instead of building that server right now, what I could do is go back to Postman, have a search for something that gives us multiple emojis, let's say face, and have this data here. Let me go to this, then fetch here. So I could have that data as, let's write them as an emoji data somewhere here. Script let emoji data. This emoji data will be kind of, okay, that's too long. A mock-up of what I would like to try. So this is a search result that I'm getting when you write um when you write that stuff in search and you are getting the JSON file. So it's similar to this one. And here, instead of going to that, we could have this I, which we will go to emoji data, and then we could have this as an emoji data character. So here we are just like mocking up the data that we are having for the server, because we will need to do some other work for the server, but right now it's not what I would like to do. And here we could try that again and see the result, and we get nothing. Let's see what we are getting here. Fav icon not found, I don't need that. And what I could do is have this debugger and see what I'm getting when I click on this, and debugger didn't work. Why? You see, search button and click function, we get the value, we get the search, we get the emoji list and inputting that. And yeah, so here we didn't have the length. Let's say 5. Let's refresh that here. Yeah, we have that. So it wasn't getting that as integer, I think. So I don't need the debugger right now. Here we could bypass them. Here we are having the emojis that we are getting. And this is the basic stuff that I would like to get. And the other thing that I would like to have beside that emoji is the name. So let's see what kind of data we are having here. We could get um slug character Unicode name. We could get the Unicode name without the first few characters. Let me go with the Unicode name right now. We have the emoji and we should get the emoji data Unicode name. And right now when you click on search, it will show us this. The other thing I would like to have is, let me see what I'm doing here. We are getting selector all of this, Chrome and list items, and getting the value of the text area, which is with inner text that we are having here. So what we could do is, instead of doing this in this way, we just, since this is an inner HTML, we could have an extra HTML here. Let's do it in this way, where we are having emoji, emoji, closing that, and here we could have that emoji. And then here we could, where is the background? Instead, let's say query selector emoji, and you will get that emoji here, which it will be something like this emoji, emoji. So we could try that, but before going there, I'm just going to check what we are having here. Here we have that, and we could see that we are getting emoji as you can see here, as an emoji like tag we are having, and we made it up. The only thing I need to do is removing the extra spaces here and here. Do I have them? No, I don't have them. So okay, I will refresh this and hoping it will get the latest stuff. And here it's not getting the latest stuff, so I could just to double check, I will go to the manifest, name it as 5 to just see what I'm doing, and then refresh this. We are having the 5th right now. I will refresh this page as well to see what we are doing. Then click on Ctrl B, and here we could have that. As you can see, it's just getting the emoji right now without getting the text, because we are getting that list item here. Let's show here we are getting that list item, and then we are getting the emoji inside that list item, and when you click on them you will see that. Another approach that we could do is, instead of going to that, changing that here, adding the emoji here, we could just go and add it into the selector that we are having, so it will choose the same um, element that we are having here. Dun, dun, dun. Let me see. Elements. Yeah, but like it will break the stuff that we are having after that, because we are getting the parent elements twice, so we'll get that a couple of times, so I don't need that. Let me do this approach. Yeah. So here what we get to right now is we had a small search. Why do I have that search label? I could just ignore that search label, but like, yeah, fine. And when you click on button, yeah, I don't need that. We did that here. I should have tested this on, I need to go and have a small page, but yeah, to test that so I wouldn't comment stuff that I don't want. Here we are having what we are getting. Where am I right now? Okay, so we get to a point where we are having the emoji only, and we checked how to use that API to search, but as we could notice that the API is having a course issue right now, which is not allowing us to fetch data from another file, from other websites. So I will check that later, but we are familiar right now with that data we are getting from it. We are familiar with the search that we are having and what we are doing, and at the same time we could see how to add and remove that stuff from that what's the name of it, from that page that we are having, so which is here. So on that page, when you click on search, you will find the 5 elements here. A good stuff to do is to remove this text, but which is like e whatever number, and we have that. So to do that, we could use regex regular expressions to try that and remove it, or we could just have a normal parsing element to remove that. But yeah, so what I would like to do right now is, I'm not sure, kind of, mm, let me see that background here. So instead of having this insert before, how would it be if we insert it after, and would that break anything? But um, so here we refresh this, and let me double check that extension. So yeah, it's what I refreshed to right now. I thought yesterday to have this as an insert after, and as it's insert after, it doesn't work. Why? Here we have this. Uncode text area parent insert after is not a function. Why insert after is not a function? Isn't uh, isn't insert after? Insert a given element at given position to relative to the invoked upon. Yeah, I think insert. We have insert before, and we have append child, but we don't have an insert after, and we just have that in. Okay, so I will not use that right now. So we just go with what we have. Um, yeah. So here we are having the basics, and I get kind of mind blocked right now. What we should do is just give me a few seconds. I need to open something. W- What we should do is to have a better user interface, which is from the README here we have, and get that emoji API. I will check that in another time. The contrib is working, and this is related. The search is related to the API, so we can do that right now. And here I would like to have it in the text area where it will detect that 2 dots and show the stuff after that, instead of having it in as like by clicking on Ctrl B. And I would like to add that support for input fields. So let's go by one. So the API and search is I could check that later basically, but before going to that, I could let me see that here. Let me refresh this. Could I add that extension again? Doesn't work. Let me see if I could change the manifest to 1 and check the Chrome extension that we are having here. Refresh that, it's 1. Refresh the page to get that extension. Hey, Kyrie, what's up? Um, Here we have that. Okay, so what I would like to have is why I'm going there. Go to inspect is kind of a better user interface instead of what we are having here. And I could just remove this. No, having a space is cool. And let's go with what we could do basically is having a better background color, smaller area. Let's see if we put the width as 100 pixel. It's too small, and I think 150 would be awesome. So this would show us everything that we need, and it would be kind of, yeah, so we could have that with 150 pixel. And what else we could do is we could play around with the background color. So instead of having, why it's not opening? Wait, shift click to change the color and it doesn't change it. So anyway, I could add background color, and we could check something cool that we could have for the extension. So we could apply that. And here, I would like to go with aqua. No, with this antiquite. And then I think I could have that. Um, so I would love to know where you are watching from for those who just joined recently and would like to see some information about you if you would like to see that. So then I would like to add position, let's say top 10 pixels. Why it doesn't work? Let me see. We have this. It doesn't work because the position is static, and we could have it as an absolute. So here I could go and edit that as 35 pixel, then add Z index as 40, so that, or let's say 90, so this would be visible on top of the other stuff that we are having. A kind of small margin would be cool, or let's say 5 pixel, and padding for 5 pixel, I think would be nice. So I could get that stuff here for this, and the other thing I could do is go to this, and let's go and see. Yeah, so here is that what I want. So this will change everything on all of that stuff that we are having. So I could add 5 pixel of 5 pixels, kind of too much. Let's say 3 pixel for margins, for padding, and for margin let's have 1 pixel or 2 pixels. And this could have a better, I think, cool view that we could have. So we could add that to our code right now and see how that stuff would be going. So let's go here, add that li Chrome extension emojis. Um, we don't need this one and this one, I think. And the other thing we could do is where we get that here. And for this, I could get that ul whatever it is. I will go back and get it right now here. And here what we are having. So yeah, let me just double check with that extension manifest, change it to 2 for sanity check. Go to the extensions, refresh this, go here, refresh the page so that we get the fresh view of what we have. Here we have that. Yo, okay, so here we have that box that I want. And as you can see, just like moving kind of uh, under that what we are using, so it would be have a great stuff. The only thing is having this kind of glitch, which I would like to check that later, but yeah. And when you click on input, it will just publish that. I need to go and try another post or have my own test page so that I will not get to this stuff here. But why when I click on that button, it will enable the other button here? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, so here where we got so far, let me see that. There's some trigger that triggering that button and the button there, so I think I could check that later. But yeah, and the other thing that I would like to do right now, I'm kind of satisfied with what we are having with this style. Uh, I just like need to change this input area and do the search for that. The other thing we need to do is, I think the glitch happening because we are adding the text area before adding the page, and we should like add them, add the style, then add that stuff that we are having. So let's go back here to my readme. So the UI is kind of nice. The contribute is working. I need to integrate that for the shift dots, two dots stuff. So I would like to see when I click on these two dots, I would like to see the menu. So I think we could start to do that right now. Um, what to do for that could be when we go to background. So this, when it's installed, I could add something that would work on the page always to show the text that we are having here. And to do that, I should always check the value and change. Let's see text. Let's keep this text area on change. Let's go to MDN. We have changed it. So we could add an event for change. And let's see text input element. What we could do right now is just check what we see when we are getting that change, or we could just see what they are having here. So depending on that kind of event, we should check that. Here the syntax, here the JavaScript. You like chocolate? Okay. So this is getting the target value, but I think I could get the target value latest. Um, Let me see what it's doing. So I could get latest character and see if it's two dots or not. But and we could allow the search of as GitHub right now they are allowing the search for face and for stuff that we could see. Let's say mm, we have that. Let's say something that we couldn't have, which we could. Do they have GitHub? No, they don't have GitHub. So yeah, it's showing what when stuff it's available and when it's not, it doesn't show anything. So it's kind of depending on the API. So we could do that right now for showing when we click on that two dots. Let's say um let's go to that. So this is uninstalled. How to run? We have that content script, I think, which I should have checked. Chrome extension. We have that Chrome content script stuff, which will run um, on every page that we are running. So here it's showing how we could have that and inject with dynamic declaration. We could do that with dynamic stuff, which is not what I would like to see. And I think I could use a service worker. Could I use service worker to fetch stuff? I'm not sure. I will do that later. But here we're checking. mm, let's just go and add that content script directly to the page. But before adding that to page, um, yeah, so I will just go and add that directly to page right now. Here we are, where it is. So in the manifest, we will have something called content script, which we will have what we want to add, and then we will do that. So we'll go to manifest. After command, let's add that content script. And here we have that content scripts. And let's go and say matches for everything. And to add that style dot css, and we need to add that content script dot js. You could have a different name, but I'm going right now with defaults. I should change that, by the way. Um, so here it is. And in that content script, what I would like to add right now is adding an event listener on change for every add event listener for every text. I'm going to, so I could do that by having getting the text areas and looping to each text area, which we did in the last time, but I'm feeling that it could be I could have something that could do that once instead of doing that in every text area, but I'm not sure about that. I could try that later. Yeah, so anyway, get all text areas in the page. So right now you could see that Copilot will help that loop through all text areas, and I don't need this stuff. It's getting it from the other page. Text area add event listener. It's not focused. It should be on change, and then I could close that. So what I would like to do when change and get the text area value, okay, and then I would like to see if the latest element is check if latest element is two dots, and here if it's that, then I would just like go and print something on console so that we could see this is working first, then I would move forward with that. Let me go to here. Before going to that area, I need to just check this for 3 to make sure that it's updated. So it's breaking right now. So it's saying that invalid value for content script 0 matches 0 missing sham separator. Let's see what does that mean. So here content scripts filled in square brackets. Let's see. Content script. Where is the manifest? Here we have that. And matches, we could add it as HTTPS something. Let's see. Is this what they want? Let's say retry, refresh this, try. It's empty path. Couldn't load manifest. Hmm. Let me see that here it's correct. We are getting that. Let me just go on write dev2 whatever and see if this would work. Retry. Yeah, okay, so it worked. I think we should add a specific, but let me see. Unit from the value of the content script field in brackets C Chrome. Oh, okay, so here's the schema that they are suggesting and what it's missed. So I could yeah, I could check that and see what stuff would need to do for that, but like right now I have mm, that, and I could just go. I will stop after this, by the way, because I almost feel here. So here when I do that two dot, I would expect to see that emoji time, but it's not there. Let me see that if this worked or not. Console log, content script running, manifest, have it as 4, and then refresh this. We have 4, refresh this. And we see that content script is not running. So okay, another thing I could do is to go and add that to manifest as a direct code, and we'll check the matches stuff later. So I have this direct page, and to do double check, we'll go to find do that as 5. Here we have this as 5, and here I have my page. Let's refresh and see if we get that content script running. Yeah, okay, so content script running. The only issue that I had was something related to um here. When we click on that, okay, I didn't detect anything. Why? Let's just go and add debugger, or I could add that debugger here directly to the code. So just have that, and it's not detecting it. Let me just run that again. Here we get that all text areas. Let's go to this. We have 4 text areas, and one of them is that one. Okay. And then we should add the change event and running that for all of them. Okay. And here, if I go and click on dots, it should do something at change, but it's not doing it. Why? So let's do dot this 0 on change console log. I would just so it's not a function. Let's add event listener, and we could add a change here. We could just go and have console log. And here we don't see that. Wait. Change here. Yeah, we don't see that. Why? Let's go and check HTML, MDN. So add event listener change examples. Did they mention something related to text areas? The change event is fired for input, select, and text area elements when the user modifies an element value. Unlike the input, change is not necessarily fired when insertion. Okay. And let me see if we have another thing. Or should we have another? Wait, let me see what we have. Change, copy, drag, input. Okay, so I think it should be an input. Since this is direct stuff or like writing, let's see if we could have that as. Wait, this is fired after losing the focus, but I don't want that, so I would like to have it when input. Let's see that here. It's let me double check. So here we have the text area. We have that as input. Yeah, okay, so it's an input event. That's what I would like to see. So it will detect whenever the person is typing. So here what we could do is change that event to input. And then let me go to the manifest to just check it's working for me to have it as 6. Extensions, refresh this one. And here refresh this page. And you see right now the content script is running. And we should see that. We didn't see it. Let's see. Text area add event listener on input. Why didn't work right now? Let me do that. Let me run that code, by the way, here. And add a debugger here. So to run to that debugger, and we get the event target value, and we get the last element, which is should be something empty, and it's working. But let's add this. Here we could see right now emoji time, which is working as what I'm expected, but when it's in content script, it didn't work. Okay, I think I need to check that later, so I will just write a note for this here. Just let's say it needs to solve the course issue by having a server or something or to work around it, and the search is related to the API. Here we are kind of fine right now. It's working integrated. So instead of having, yeah, I will need to change that later, by the way. So integrate the extension with text area. Here we add support for input fields. What we get right now is that the input event listener is working in the page but not in the content scripts. So I need to check that. And to just have a checkpoint of what we did here, let me see. We could add that background. As for content scripts, we are working on that. So yeah, we need to, I could have that. As for this, it should be still as 0, and we added the content scripts. Okay, I could add that as well. As for me, the only update is for the to-dos. As for style, yeah, I could commit that. And for document, which is the example that we did, I should remove the emojis later, but yeah. So here we have this. The other thing I could do, let's say sure, add skillet. I shouldn't add that all in on, so just give me a second. So here for background, feed add different style to get the emoji. I will just go with 1 5 by 5 so I could get the information I need later. So here, this one and this one is related, which is adding the content scripts. Feed add content scripts to run on every page, which is the goal for that style. Improve style, improve, and add extension, specific details, IDs and the classes. And then for the UI, test, add test HTML page. And for readme, I could just have chore update readme with the changes. So here we have that. Okay, right now I could just sync these changes that I have done. Why I did multiple commits, just like to separate the logic that I have done and what I did, so I could just like have a reference for checking the future. And I think we could end this right now. So in general, what we did, it was just like having this style and improving it, and then getting only the emoji from the text we are searching. And we did minor stuff to check how it worked for the input, and we did small research for that, and we checked the API on and how to use that, but the API seems to need some extra research, which is related to the course issue that we are facing right now. And that's it right now. Then I hope that this was helpful for you, and hopefully we'll see you in another stream in the future. If you enjoyed that stream, it would be great to see where you are join if you enjoyed that or not in the comments, and you could follow the channel if you need any extra to see the previous streams or the podcast that we are doing from time to time. And yeah, that's it. Where is my dad? Here. Thank you for joining today and see you in another stream.